Hello, Keto Nation. This is Mike, and just came back from the gym as always. And this is my officially done with 3 weeks of keto, hitting on week number 4. Feeling good so far. I had a carb day on Friday. I will not be discussing carb days today because it's a completely different topic and maybe not for general everyone here. Um, I want to discuss today a very important topic, which happened that I was discussing it with my wife the other day, and I've seen some posts. Some people are asking me about the difference between being in ketosis, in keto diet, or being in just generally low carb diets. And I have just a few comments that I have to throw a disclaimer here again and say that this is based on my experiment and based on what happened to me. So don't take this as a medical advice for any reason. I tried to do some low carb diets before, and although generally sometimes people put the keto as a low carb diet, they put it in the same bracket. I think it's better to keep it in a separate bracket, which is just call it a very high fat diet, not a low carb diet, because in ketogenic diet we don't really get any significant source of carbs from anywhere. It's just very minor, 1 gram or 2 grams from here and there, and like we're trying not to exceed the 20 grams per day. So there's no real carb source during the keto diet. Now, in low carb diets, and to define the low carb diets, they are the diets that have their carb intake below the norms, below the trends, and these trends are usually happening to be 300 to 350 grams per day. So when you start taking carbs below this amount, so when we're like 200 grams or 150 grams of carbs per day, so that's a low carb diet scheme. There's so many plans there and so many different plans in the low carb life, and I have nothing against it, but I felt better way being in keto for so many reasons. The reason number one is that when I used to be in low carb period, I used to feel a bit tired, and I used not to feel let's say energized for the whole day. I used to get my energies dropping very fast. Once I get my carbs a little bit going through the day, I start to feel tired and start to feel less motivated to do my workouts, to go do my exercises. When I used to hit the gym, I used to feel a little bit low in energy, not able to lift my weights properly. So that was a bit uncomfortable situation. When I used to say I need to go low carb, I used to feel bad about it. I used to plan it for so long and feel like, oh my God, it's a low carb period. It wasn't a very pleasant experience for me. Another thing that I've been reading and researching, and so many people are referring to this, which is our body is designed for survival. And this is a golden system in our body that actually it was designed, it evolved to survive, not to lose weight. So when you start taking low carbs, your body will tend to reduce the metabolism rates to match the carb intake you're having. Since your body is carb dependent in burning the energy, then the tendency would be to reduce your metabolism, and that's why you will be feeling tired, and that's why being in low carb sometimes would give this the feeling of no energy during the day. That low of metabolism, sometimes some people would feel it when they are going for very long periods of low carb diets, where they get in plateaus, and suddenly the weight stop moving. Like they are still dieting, they are still following everything to the dot, but the weight is not moving on the scale. And usually to overcome that, you would hear about a term called carb cycling, where when they are in low carb, they would go like through the week. It's a planned during the week when you're going to get an extremely low carbs, when you get high carbs, so that you can keep getting the body not to get used to reduce the metabolism due to the low intake of carbs. So in general, I didn't like it. I didn't feel so much comfortable being in that zone, and to be honest, it's a bit hard for me to keep monitoring my low carb days and high carb days and cycling and make sure it's like to be honest, for me it's more complicated than I would do to just feel good. So when I started looking into keto diets, and that's where the differences start to happen, is that when you're off carbs completely and you're below 20 grams of carbs, so which is a completely insignificant amount of carbs coming into your body would switch into burning fat. And on that state, you would be having extremely amount of energy because we are storing lots of fat. We have lots of fat in our systems. So when our body is running on fat, you'd be feeling much, much more better. And this is exactly what happened to me. When I am in ketosis, when I started getting out of the keto flu, and I started being really effective in burning the fats, I could feel the difference. I could feel this whole long day of energy, whole long day of not feeling hungry, whole long day of eating somewhere around 12, going at 8 p.m. to do my workout without eating anything in between, and I still be able to go hit my complete routine, put the maximum weights I usually put, finish my workout, go take shower, and after a couple of hours from that, I would be thinking if I should eat or not. That was impossible on low carb dieting. That was actually, I used to think that this is impossible to do, that you need to eat before you work out, you need to eat after you work out. When you're in carbs, you need to do that. You need to eat before, you need to eat after, you need to carb load. Even if you're in low carbs, still these general things apply. You have to have some carbs before the workout so that you can actually go through the workout. In keto diet, it's not the case. In keto diet, you have a consistent energy that is stored in our body. Another very important factor is that when you look into carbs and you look into fat, and we discussed that in one of the previous videos, is that a gram of carbs would give you 4 calories, while a gram of fat would give you 9 calories. So basically for the same amount, for the same volume of food you are eating, you are just having more energy to burn. Our body, and if we go through the all kind of studies, that's going to tell you that our body would store a certain amount of carbs that's been like ready available for our body to burn. But when we look into fat, then we have huge amount of fat preserves, somewhere like maybe 20 times more than what we could store in terms of carbs. So that would give you the push, that will give your body a very consistent energy source throughout the day to actually perform. So the bottom line of all of that is I ended up doing a keto diet, and that's why I recommend the keto diet to everyone, because I can see the value in my energy levels, in my brain level functions, being active and being energized the whole day, not feeling tired for any reason. So I hope this clears out the concepts when we're talking about low carb diets, or we're talking about keto. Please try, if you're not in keto yet, I would recommend you to really study it well and take the decision to actually drop these carbs and use the fat instead. If you have any questions, if you have any different experiences, I would love you to share it with us. This is an open forum, so keep your comments below. Let us know how things going with you. If you started in keto, we would love to hear how is it going with you. If you need any question or any help, please let me know. I'll be glad to help. Another disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a dietitian, so please don't ask me any what do you call it. I cannot be like a doctor to you. I cannot prescribe anything to you, but I would be happy to help, to give you some resources, to guide you to the places where I actually found my knowledge, and it would be great to share the information among each other. So until next time, take care. Bye.